and welcome to this first medical legal webinar. And we have with us Dr. Rajendra Abhayankar, who is an orthopedic surgeon practicing since last 34 years and has vast knowledge of medical legal aspect of clinical practice. He has worked in Maharashtra Orthopedic Association as an executive board member and as a secretary. And he is the founder editor of the MOA Journal as well as the CPA and the grievance cell of MOA. He has worked in IOA for last 10 years and currently is the director of the National Hospital Board of IMA, and he'll share with us his experience in Consumer Act as well as how the patients and the doctor's relationship has changed over a period of time. We welcome you, sir. Welcome to the webinar.
Yeah, good morning. Today we will be talking about the much talked about consumerism in the patient and doctor relationship. Slides are not working.
Yeah, just click on the slide and it will move ahead.
Yeah. The days were not far off when patients used to consider doctor as a god, and there were doctors also who were considering themselves as demigods. Dhanvantari is considered as god and the doctors are related to the Dhanvantari. But everything changed in 1986 when Consumer Protection Act was enacted, and there was a boom in 2002 with Supreme Court declaring patient as a consumer and doctors can be tried in the consumer protection courts. So with this, people knew, the patients knew that doctor can be brought into the court and can be accused, tried and punished. So it was the sea change about 18 years ago. And what was the response of us doctors? We responded with shutdowns, morchas, memorandum to different government agencies, discussions in the conferences where only the doctors discussed amongst themselves, wearing the back pages, etc., so on and so forth. And what was the result? Nothing changed. We are still tried in the court of Consumer Protection Act, and the lesson learned out of it is you do not fight with the mighty. Similarly, you do not try to correct a fool or he will hate you. Correct a wise man and he will appreciate you. So when you are trying to take on the mighty government, most of the times the end result is already decided. So what is the way out? The way out is do not oppose, always appreciate. कितना अच्छा काम किया है. Get the work done. That is more important thing. Whether you oppose or you talk sweet, the basic motto is to get your work done and then turn the different schemes or the laws enacted by the government to your advantage. Actually, that is the way to go ahead. Opposing the mighty government and the public sentiment at large is not going to help because we are very small in number. So forget about the God image and try to be banias. It's a very simple fact. If the patients are consumers, then naturally we should try to act as banias. Then only the equation will be balanced. So my contention is always think in a different term how to get advantage out of different schemes. You will be surprised to know that even the film industry has become industry about 25-30 years back. Previously, there were money lenders, the financiers who used to finance the films. The banks were not able to finance the films because it was not considered as an industry. Similarly, today, according to the Government of India notifications, we are not industry. let us see what happens in international scenario. International scenario standard in industrial classification shows that human health activities, hospital activities, and nursing care facilities are classified in an industry. But what is the scenario of the Government of India, Ministry of Statistics? It considers health as health and social work. So health is always clubbed with social work. You are not industry, you are neither a profession, you are supposed to do a social work. That has to change. We'll have to appeal to the government, convince them that the hospital should be considered as an industry. Then only we will have some way out of these situations. The advantages of getting ourselves recognized as industry is you can classify as corporate hospitals, middle, small bed, nursing homes, etc. into industrial classification like heavy industries, medium industries, and small scale industries. Everybody knows that tourism is an industry, films is an industry, distilleries, breweries, wineries, tobacco, everything is industry. And these people get the land at a concessional price, mind you, but no doctor or no hospital gets the land at a concessional price. So we should pressurize the government to declare us as hospitals and health facilities in industrial classification. Benefits to industries can automatically claim by us. Land at a concessional rate, tax holidays. Many small scale industries and medium scale industries get tax holidays if they set up their hospital at a remote place, industry at a remote place. Everybody knows that in Uttarakhand and Himachal Pradesh, a lot of pharma industries have shifted because there is no taxation for them. So similarly, we can ask for tax holidays if we go to a rural place. Promotion of the exports to the industry. Similarly, the medical tourism can be have a boom with the industry classification. Electricity and water, all hospitals today are charged at professional rate, not even industrial rate. Industrial rate is far way below to the professional rates. So we can claim that if you have seen the industries which are getting a lot of water, special pipelines are put by the government to supply the water, and similarly the electricity also, which is at a very cheap throwaway price, and that is for 24 hours for the industry. Transports. Most of the times for workers to commute, the local governments, they provide buses and different modes of trains at a concessional rate. Loans are given at a concessional rates to industry. You will be surprised, small scale industries get the loan at the rate of 4 to 6%. And that too, there is a holiday for the interest for 2 years or 3 years. Promotional subsidies. Tourism is promoted like anything, and they get subsidies to the tune of 40%. I built my hospital 20 years ago, and at the same time, a hotel was coming up in Kolhapur. He got more than 50% of subsidy and got 1.5 crore rupees back from the 3 crore rupees he invested. But I had to fight and go door to door to just get a loan of 1 crore out of any bank. So these promotional subsidies can be claimed by the hospital industry. To summarize, if we consider and we try to implement and convince the government to declare it as an industry, we get land at concessional rate, electricity, water, waiver of the property tax, waiver of the income tax, or holiday for a first few years, waiver in the import duty. Most of the industries, they get their raw material or machineries at a concessional rate. There is no customs duty on that. Similarly, we can ask the government to do that. And as I said, the loans and promotional subsidies. Now, what government does is plays the double game. They tax the pharma, so they get money out of the selling of the drugs, tax the hospitals, corporates and small nursing homes, tax the imports, all the materials and the products you import like scopes and different CM and X-ray tubes. They tax that. They tax the individuals. They will tax the doctors and paramedicals. But they will insist that all the emergency treatment should be given free by private doctors. Free treatment to the 10% of the beds for charitable hospitals. You should work for a health scheme at peanuts prices. As being an orthopedic surgeon, I know that the government expects me to do a fracture neck femur of a 88-year diabetic hypertensive heart failure patient, inclusive of everything, with payment of the going home charges also. So government expects us to give service to the society at a peanut charges. Even those health schemes, we do it, the government pays us the peanuts, but never forgets to tax those amounts also. Free camps for the political leaders and political parties where there is a lot of halla gulla and the advertisement and the hoardings have the photographs of the politicians, not the doctor who is logging there for almost 8 to 10 hours. This is the government double game, which we will have to find out. So we have two ways to go. Either you lie down and enjoy, or you have to act, pressurize the government, have a lobby, and get the material at the subsidized rate. What minimum we can suggest to the government is, yes, we are ready to act on the Ayushman Bharat, but when you are giving us the peanuts, at least provide us the material we are using at a subsidized rate. Give us the free implants, give us the free medicines, give us free disposables, and at least give us 100% tax benefit on the amount you are paying for doing service to the patients. Now understand, if those 12,000 rupees of fracture neck femur is, I am giving income tax on that, that is 35%, that comes hardly 8,500 rupees I will get out of it. So you can pressurize and ask the government. So these are the ways to tackle the government, not oppose everything. At the end, I will again say the same thing: appreciate, do not oppose, participate, do not boycott. Yes, we are ready to participate in your scheme, provided that you give us the following things. That is the free implants, free medicines and all that. And no taxation on the payment done by government to the hospitals for implementing these schemes. So what has happened by opposing, taking out morchas, black ribbons, nothing has changed. Government has its own way. Now, recently there is a bill, National Medical Commission bill, which is again going to grind us to the soil. So what I advise is, do not perish. Prosper by acting along with the government, not opposing the government. That is not the way. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for that excellent insight into the government scheme and how to deal with them. Thank you very much, sir, and we look forward for more such webinars from you. Thank you very much.